in a few centuries after the flood of Noah. Most of Noah and his immediate family had moved to India. Now, this is not another sensational story like Jesus in Kashmir or the missing ears of Jesus. My story adheres to the genealogy of Noah and a timeline that is in accordance with the human history, along with proofs from religious literatures and practices that are followed even today in India. These are the results of my decades of biblical studies, which started branching into mythologies, Islam, and ancient history. The story is that after the great flood, Noah's sons owned different parts of the earth. Just as Ham owned the whole continent of Africa, Shem owned the land passage starting from the Levant all the way to India. However, the Bible and the secular history shows us that the sons of Ham, namely the Canaanites, Amorites, and the Cushites, invaded the lands of Shem, beginning from Canaan all the way to India, that is, from west to east, in a gradual manner. This is what made the righteous Noah and his son Shem move away from these invaders until they reached the Himalayan region, which is the east end of Shem's land, and cannot go any further. According to Indian sources, it ended up in a showdown of power between Shem and Ham in a duel combat in which Shem lost. Even though Ham returned the land to his brother Shem and moved on, from what I know, he occupied and ruled the people of ancient Bactria after leaving India. Because of all this, Indians rubbed shoulders with many biblical characters under some other names. They know Ham by the name Kam or Kamdev. They know his two wives by the names Rati and Preeti. It is from the Indian sources we come to know that his brother was known by the name Bharat and he ruled India and beyond. He is the one who gave the name Bharat to the country of India. We can also figure out that this Bharat is Shem, the father of the Semitic people such as the Jews. Then they say that the father of Bharat and Kamdev was known as Rishabhadeva or Rishabhanatha, which obviously is a different title of Noah, which relates to the Taurus mountain region where he came from when the flood receded. And they also talk about Noah's two wives by the names Nanda Devi and Sunanda Devi, whom they celebrate even today. Thus, the ancient land of India had witnessed Noah, his two wives, Shem as their beloved king Bharat, and Ham along with his two wives as well. They also claim that Noah, in his old age, renounced this world, took an ascetic life, and he died of a forest fire at the end. However, we don't come across much about Noah's third son Japheth, who owned the land of Europe, Britain, and the islands of the Mediterranean Sea. The Indians barely know him by the name Japheti. The descendants of one of Japheti's sons, named Javan in the Bible, had trade links with India. They were known as Yavanas in India. We also know that the Medes of northern Iran, from where Cyrus the Great arose, are also the descendants of Japheth. But I am sure more details will emerge as I continue to delve into the matters pertaining to ancient India and the biblical history. Here I would like to mention that a great reference to my studies is annomundi.com. there are some good books that you might want to own. And also consider supporting my works at Patreon or via PayPal to have these articles coming. Thanks for watching.